She doesn't fall for the hours you spent in the gym sculpting your biceps. She doesn't stay because of the zeros in your bank account or the brand of the car parked in your driveway. She doesn't even crave your charm, your rehearsed lines, or that mask of unshakable confidence you wear to survive the world. Not really, not deep down. Those things might catch her eye. Yes, they might get you the first date. They might even get you a few months of shallow connection. But they will never, ever get you her soul. What she craves, what she is secretly starving for in a world of superficial swipes and transactional dating, is the specific way you make her feel when the audience is gone, when no one else is watching. Not on date night when the lighting is perfect and the wine is flowing. Not in front of her friends when you're performing the role of the perfect boyfriend. And certainly not when you're posting those curated cute pictures together on Instagram for the applause of strangers. No. She falls in love with you at 2 a.m. when she's spiraling, when the weight of the world feels like it's crushing her chest, when she cancels plans last minute because she is emotionally drained and feels guilty about it, when she looks you in the eye and says, "I'm fine," but her voice cracks and her eyes are screaming a completely different story. That is the moment of truth. That is the crossroads. In that split second, her subconscious mind asks three primal questions. Is he safe? Is he real? Is he mine? Welcome back, Soulful Seekers. I'm your name, and today we aren't talking about pickup lines. We aren't talking about manipulation tactics or dark psychology tricks to trick a woman into liking you. That stuff is for boys. Today we are diving into the deep end. We are exploring the three beautiful, magnetic, deeply human behaviors that don't just attract a woman, they make her emotionally addicted to you. And when I say addicted, I need you to understand me clearly. I am not talking about a toxic, clingy, anxious obsession. I'm talking about that sacred soul deep, I can't imagine navigating this chaotic life without him kind of bond. The kind of bond our grandparents knew, the kind of bond that feels like coming home. Listen to me closely. This is about embodying qualities so rare, so healing, and so emotionally intelligent that once a woman experiences them with you, every other man she meets will feel colorless in comparison. She will never want to go back to ordinary men again. Are you ready to become that man? Are you ready to rewire the way you love? Let's begin. You hold space, the art of the sanctuary. Let's talk about the biggest mistake 99% of men make, and you've probably done it. I know I have. A woman comes to you with a problem. Maybe she had a brutal day at work. Maybe she's fighting with her sister. Maybe she's just feeling a wave of inexplicable sadness. What do most men do? We hear her pain, and our hero instinct kicks in. We immediately grab our emotional toolbox. We put on our hard hats. We start analyzing the structural integrity of her problem. We say things like, "Well, have you tried talking to HR about it? Why don't you just block her number? Babe, you're overthinking it. Just try to relax. Have you tried yoga? My buddy says yoga helps." We think we are helping. We think we are being useful. We think we are solving the puzzle. But to her, we are not helping. We are dismissing. When you rush to fix her emotions, what you are subconsciously telling her is, "Your pain makes me uncomfortable. Please fix it quickly so we can go back to being happy, because I don't know how to handle your darkness." This creates distance. It makes her feel lonely in your presence. The behavior that changes everything is called holding space. Holding space is not a passive act. It is a warrior's act. It requires immense internal strength. Holding space means you become a container for her chaos. You sit with her in the mess, in the storm, in the ugly crying, and you do not flinch. You do not hand her a tissue the second a tear falls, because sometimes handing a tissue is a subtle signal that says, "Clean yourself up." Instead, you let the tears fall. You let the silence hang in the air. You replace the solutions with presence. Instead of, "You'll get over it," you say, "That sounds incredibly heavy. I can see why you're hurting." Instead of, "Here's what you should do," you ask the magic question. Do you need to vent? Do you need comfort? Or do you want advice? And then, and this is the hardest part for us men, you shut up. You listen. You breathe. You look her in the eye. Why is this revolutionary? Because in her life, everyone tries to fix her. Her boss, her parents, her friends, society. Everyone is telling her how to be, how to feel, how to act. But you become the sanctuary. You honor her emotion as if it is a valid, real thing. You don't rush her out of sadness. You don't minimize her fear. You don't tell her to look on the bright side when her world feels pitch black. You become her emotional harbor. Imagine a ship in a storm. You are not the captain trying to steer the ship for her. You are the calm water in the bay that allows her to drop anchor and rest. Here is the psychology of what happens when you do this consistently. She starts associating your physical presence with safety. She starts associating your voice with peace. When she sees you, her nervous system literally downregulates. Her cortisol levels drop. Her shoulders, which have been tense all day, finally drop. Her breath deepens into her belly. Her walls dissolve. That feeling, that relief, that is the addiction. She isn't addicted to your car. She is addicted to the feeling of being emotionally held. She realizes, I can show this man my ugly, messy, confused self, and he doesn't run away. He doesn't judge. He stays. The next time she shares something heavy, or even just complains about a minor annoyance, resist the urge to offer a solution. Bite your tongue if you have to. Just look at her, touch her hand gently, and say, I'm sorry you're dealing with that. Thank you for trusting me with this. I'm right here with you. Watch her reaction. Watch how her eyes soften. Watch how she physically leans into you. That is the moment the bond deepens. That is the moment you move from boyfriend to partner in life. The archaeology of her soul. Remembering the micro details. Let's move deeper. Let's talk about the difference between hearing and listening. Most men hear the words, a rare few listen to the soul behind them. Behavior number 2 is about remembering the little things and bringing them back to life. We live in a world where everyone is distracted. We are scrolling while we talk. We are half listening while watching TV. We are forgetting names, forgetting dates, forgetting details. When a man actually remembers, it hits a woman like a thunderbolt. I'm not talking about remembering her birthday or your anniversary. That is the bare minimum. That is the entry fee. I'm talking about the tiny, fleeting details she mentioned in passing 3 weeks ago. The whispers. Maybe she mentioned while walking past a bakery that she loves mango sticky rice, but hasn't had it since her trip to Thailand 5 years ago. Maybe she laughed about how her childhood dog, Buddy, used to steal her left sock, never the right one. Maybe she sighed during a movie and said, quiet and low, I wish someone would write me a handwritten letter again. Nobody writes anymore. Most men let these comments float away like smoke. They treat it as background noise. But the magnetic man, he is an archaeologist. He collects these artifacts. He stores them. And then, when the timing is right, he acts on them. It's a Tuesday. No special occasion. You've both had long weeks. You show up at her door, not with expensive jewelry, but with a takeout container of mango sticky rice. You hand it to her and say, I remembered you missed this. Imagine you're teasing her playfully, and you say, careful now, or I might start stealing your left socks like Buddy did. Imagine she opens her laptop to start work, and she finds a post-it note stuck to the screen. It's not a text message, it's your handwriting, and it just says, you're going to crush it today. I believe in you. This is emotional foreplay. Gentlemen, please hear me on this. Women do not fall for the grand gestures on Valentine's Day. Anyone can buy a dozen roses when the calendar tells them to. That's obligation, not romance. Women fall for the man who notices the quiet whispers of her soul and echoes them back to her weeks later. Why does this work so powerfully? It answers her deepest insecurity. The insecurity that says, do I matter? Does anyone actually see me? When you bring up that small detail, you are screaming to her subconscious, I see you. I pay attention to you. You are not background noise in my life. You are the main character. I care enough to store your details in my heart. This creates a level of intimacy that sex alone can never touch. Sex is physical. This is mental and spiritual penetration. When a man remembers her favorite flower, and it's not a rose, the name of her first grade teacher who inspired her, how she takes her coffee specifically, or the song that makes her cry, he is saying, I cherish the map of who you are. And ladies, if you are reading or listening to this, you know exactly what sensation I am talking about. You know that flutter in your chest when he casually references something you said a month ago. That sudden warmth, that thought of, oh my God, he was actually listening. That isn't a coincidence. That is connection. Pro tip for the men. Do not rely on your brain. We are busy. We have work, stress, bills. Keep a private note in your phone. Call it her. Write it down. Loves peonies, not roses. Hates the texture of velvet. Dream wants to see the northern lights. Coffee order, oat milk latte, extra hot. Review it weekly. Use it. Don't let her feel invisible. When you make her feel seen, she will start craving your presence like oxygen. She will wonder why she feels so full around you when other men leave her feeling empty. Initiating vulnerability, the courage to go first. Now, we arrive at the most difficult behavior. This is the one that separates the boys from the men. This is the one that requires true warrior spirit. You must initiate vulnerability before she does. Here is the secret that no one in the alpha male community talks about. Women do not open up just because you ask the right questions. Women open up because you went first. If you want her to trust you with her fears, her shame, her trauma, and her wildest dreams, you have to model that behavior. You have to hand her the map. Most men are taught to be stoic statues. We are taught that feelings are weakness. We are taught to lead with invincibility. I got this. Nothing hurts me. I'm the rock. But here is the truth. Women aren't drawn to armor. They may admire it from a distance, but they cannot fall in love with a suit of armor. You cannot hug armor. It's cold. It's hard. It keeps you safe, but it keeps her out. Is about dropping the shield. It's about saying things like, honestly, I was really nervous before our first date. I changed my shirt 3 times. Sometimes I feel like I'm not enough, even though I look confident at work. I struggle with imposter syndrome. I felt really sad watching that movie last night. It reminded me of my dad. I'm scared of losing you sometimes. When you do this, something magical happens in the dynamic. You give her permission to be human. If you are always perfect, always strong, always unbothered, she feels like she has to perform too. She feels like she has to be the cool girl. She hides her crazy. She hides her insecurity. The relationship becomes a stage play, 2 actors wearing masks. But when you show your softness, when you show your doubts, you are telling her it is safe here. You don't have to be perfect. Look, I'm not perfect either. We can just be. She will start mirroring you. She will whisper her secrets. She will show you parts of herself she has never shown anyone, not her exes, maybe not even her best friends. Why? Because you made it safe. You led with courage, not ego. This is how emotional addiction is born, not through seduction techniques, not through playing hard to get, but through mutual courageous vulnerability. She becomes addicted to the feeling of being known, truly known, and still chosen. He sees my flaws, and he stays. I see his flaws, and I love him more for them. There is a difference between vulnerability and emotional dumping. Vulnerability is sharing your feelings to build connection. I feel sad today. Emotional dumping is using her as a therapist. My life sucks. Fix me. I'm broken. Do not be a victim. Be a man who owns his emotions. Share them, but do not ask her to carry them for you. There is a quiet strength in saying, I am hurting, and that's okay. That is infinitely more attractive than pretending nothing hurts at all. Let's pause for a moment and get scientific. I want you to understand that this isn't just poetic fluff. This is biology. This is how the human brain is wired for attachment. When you engage in these 3 behaviors, you are literally mixing a chemical cocktail in her brain that rewires her neural pathways to favor you. When you hold space, behavior #1, you are lowering her cortisol and adrenaline. You are removing the stress hormones from her body. You become a literal healing agent. Her body begins to crave your presence simply to feel calm. You are her Xanax, but healthy. When you remember the details, behavior #2, you are spiking her dopamine. Dopamine is the reward chemical. It's the same chemical released when we win money, eat chocolate, or get a notification on our phone. When you surprise her with that mango sticky rice, her brain lights up. She associates you with pleasure and reward. When you initiate vulnerability, behavior #3, you are flooding her system with oxytocin. Oxytocin is the cuddle hormone, the bonding chemical. It's the chemical released during intimacy and breastfeeding. It creates trust. It is the glue that binds 2 souls together. Cortisol reduction, dopamine spikes, oxytocin floods, safety, joy, deep connection. You are literally rewiring her neurochemistry to associate you with her highest states of being. She doesn't just like you anymore. Her body starts craving you. Her mind replays your voice. Her heart races when your name pops up on her screen. She finds herself smiling at nothing while standing in line at the grocery store because a micro-memory of you floated through her mind. That isn't infatuation. That is neurological imprinting. You have become her emotional home. Why most men fail and how to rise above. So if this is so powerful, why do so few men do it? Because we have been sold a lie. Movies, magazines, and gurus tell us that attraction is about performance. They tell us we need to be the alpha, the provider, the stoic hero, the comedian, the man with the answers. We think that if we show weakness, she will leave. We think that if we just listen without fixing, we are useless. We think that remembering small details makes us look simpy or obsessed. Wrong. The man she becomes addicted to is not the performer. He is the man who is comfortable in the silence. He is the man who is okay with messy emotions. He doesn't need to be the hero. He is happy being the harbor. He leads with tenderness, not just testosterone. He understands that love isn't built on perfection. It is built on presence. So, if you have been trying to win her with flashy dates, expensive gifts, or by acting like a cold, mysterious bad boy, stop. Just stop. It's exhausting, and it doesn't work long term. Start showing up. Start listening with your whole body. Start remembering the map of her soul. Start sharing your truth, even when your voice shakes. That is the alchemy. That is how you turn a spark into a flame that never burns out. A message for the ladies watching now. I know there are women watching this. And if you are, I need you to hear this, because society gaslights you too. You are not too much. You are not needy for wanting depth. You are not crazy for craving emotional safety. You are wired for connection. You are wired for reciprocity. You are wired for a love that sees you, all of you, and says, stay. I'm not going anywhere. Do not settle for men who only show up when the sun is shining. Do not waste your magic on men who treat you like a convenience. Do not dim your light for men who are too lazy to learn the details of your heart. Wait for the man who embodies these 3 behaviors, or, better yet, communicate them, teach people how to love you. And if you are single, become the woman who cultivates these behaviors in yourself, so you attract your equal. You deserve a love that feels like coming home. Do not accept anything less. I don't want you to just watch this video, nod your head, and click away to the next cat video. I want you to change your life. I am issuing a challenge to both men and women. For the next 7 days, I want you to practice intentional connection. For the men, practice holding space. If she complains, do not fix. Just listen. Say, I hear you. Remember one small detail she mentioned recently. A snack, a worry, a wish. Act on it. Bring it up. Surprise her. Share one vulnerable truth. It doesn't have to be a dark secret. Just something real. I felt insecure today. I really missed you. For the women, notice which behavior makes you feel most seen. When he does it, even imperfectly, reward it. Say, I really love that you just listened to me. It made me feel so safe. Men need positive reinforcement. We are simple creatures. If you tell us what works, we will do it more. Watch what happens in 1 week. Watch how the energy between you shifts. Watch how the tension melts. Watch how she leans in closer. Watch how he looks at you like you hung the moon and the stars. This isn't magic, it's mastery. Mastery of the heart. Call to action. If this video stirred something in you, if you felt a recognition in your chest, if you are tired of the games and starving for something real, do not scroll away. Like this video. Not for my ego, but so the YouTube algorithm shows this message to other souls who are lonely and confused in the modern dating world. Let's spread this healing. Because every Thursday I drop deep psychology-backed truths that heal relationships and awaken souls. Join our community of seekers. Comment below. I want to know which of these 3 behaviors is most difficult for you. Or which one means the most to you when you receive it. Type, I choose vulnerability, or I am a sanctuary. I read every single comment. Your story matters to me. If you want to go deeper, I have created a free guide called the Emotional Attraction Blueprint. The link is in the description below. It includes specific scripts on how to hold space, journal prompts to find your vulnerability, and a template for your details note. It's free. Go get it. Share this video. Send it to your partner as a conversation starter. Send it to your best friend who keeps dating toxic men. Send it to your brother who is trying to figure it out. You don't need to be perfect to be unforgettable. You don't need to be the richest, the tallest, or the most handsome. You just need to be present. You need to be attentive. You need to be courageously human. When you master these 3 beautiful behaviors, holding space, remembering deeply, and initiating vulnerability, you won't just attract love. You will magnetize devotion. She won't just choose you. She will addict herself to you in the healthiest, most sacred, soul-nourishing way possible. Because at the end of the day, love isn't about fireworks. It isn't about the grand movie moments. Love is about feeling safe enough to whisper your secrets in the dark. It's about being seen enough to be loved in your mess. And it's about being cherished enough to never, ever want to leave. That is the addiction worth having. Until next time, stay tender, stay intentional, and never underestimate the power of a beautiful behavior, because sometimes one gentle moment is all it takes to make her yours forever.